This church is well known for being the childhood church of Jim Jones.
If you tell us we have to give our lives now, we're ready. I'm pretty sure all the rest of sisters and brothers are with me.
One of America's most famous cult leaders would sit right out here.
That is super creepy.
We're not letting them take our life. We're laying down our life.
What are you doing here? Why are you here? Why are you in our church?
He's behind you. Something just mapped and literally like jumped all around.
Do you remember Jim Jones?
Run away!
I'm starting to get creeped out.
I feel like someone is in the room with me.
I swear I thought I heard it say Jones.
Good evening. It's now 4 days since 5 Americans were shot down by other Americans on the airstrip at Port Kaituma, Guyana. They had gone to investigate a cult called the People's Temple.
No way I'm going to do it. I refuse. I don't know who fired the shot. I don't know who killed the congressman. But as far as I'm concerned, I killed him.
Most had reportedly stood in line to take doses of cyanide-laced Kool-Aid from a large tub.
They robbed us of our land, and they've taken us and driven us till we tried to find ourselves. We tried to find a new beginning, but it's too late. You can't separate yourself from your brother and your sister.
Inside, a small group of former members of the People's Temple gathered to discuss their experiences with reporters. They spoke of beatings, tortures, and a fanatical paranoid leader.
All we're doing is laying down our life. We're not letting them take our life. We're laying down our life.
I cannot condone it. No, sir, I cannot. I have not been able to sleep. I just can't handle it.
We've lived as no other people have lived and loved. We've had as much of this world as you're going to get. Let's just be done with it. Let's be done with the agony of it. No more, no more, no more.
Free at last.
All right, guys, we just turned on to Church Street here in Lynn,
Indiana. I am really excited for this one because this is not only an interesting haunted location, but this is a piece of American history. The church that we're going to be investigating tonight is the church where a young man named James Jones went through his teenage years and learned all about his faith. Now, for those of you that may recognize that name, James Jones is the famous Jim Jones, one of America's most famous cult leaders and con men, which led a group of people called the People's Temple down to Guyana to a small area called Jonestown, in which over 900 people, including 300 children, perished in one of the most heartbreaking tragedies in world history.
It's horrific.
I have heard a lot about the cult, and it was just terrible. There's so many things that were just absolutely horrible. So I'm interested to see what the church looks like, and yeah.
What's interesting is we know a couple of our friends who have investigated here, and they said that it is shockingly haunted. They did not expect the paranormal activity that they saw. And tonight we're going to test that for ourselves and see what paranormal activity and hauntings this church holds, and possibly if there might be some energy left behind from Jim Jones himself, or some sort of energy or spirits that remember Mr. Jones. There it is. The Jim Jones Church, as it is called today.
Wow. This is going to be pretty interesting, I have a feeling.
Yes. I mean, Jim Jones grew up 7 minutes from here, right, Miranda?
Yeah, it was 7 minutes.
His childhood home was 7 minutes from here, so this is literally the hometown, the area of Jim Jones himself. And I'm interested to see if tonight on this investigation, if there is any energy left behind, or anyone who remembers the young man who would grow up to be one of America's most famous and evil cult leaders.
It's going to be a wild one, I think.
Are you ready to go inside?
I'm ready to go inside.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
So this church is well known for being the childhood church of Jim Jones. He attended church here from the time he was 3 years old to the time he was about 16. Church was his everything. His parents didn't really take care of him. His dad was a drunk in and out of the hospital. His mom really didn't care much for him. And the ladies here in Lynn took him in and clothed him because he'd be running the streets naked. So they would clothe him, they would feed him, and then bring him to church. When he was a kid and when he was a teenager, he may have done some weird things, but he really wasn't a bad individual as a child or as a teenager. After he graduated high school and he left Richmond and made his way to Indianapolis and then to California, he helped with the homeless. I mean, that was, I hate to say that's who he really targeted, but that is who he targeted. He was, hey, come to church, I'll help you, let me feed you, let me clothe you, let me give you a roof over your head.
You have a bad spinal condition?
Yes.
And your hip is injured.
Yes.
Step from your wheelchair. Begin to step from your wheelchair.
And then he found drugs, and like every other person that finds drugs, one of two things happens. Either they get sober or they get crazy, and he got crazy.
I read in the paper that my husband Don Sly is the one that put the knife to Congressman Ryan's throat. He and the rest of the men on that squad, or women, are dedicated totally to what they have been asked to do, and that is to assassinate the defectors.
All right, let's head in.
Let's head in.
Out of the wind.
Go for it.
Upstairs or downstairs?
Let's go upstairs first.
Okay. This is in surprisingly good shape.
It is. Oh!
Got it. Come on in, come on in.
Right out here in these seats that are right in front of us, one of America's most famous cult leaders and serial killer. Let's not beat around the bush, that's what he was. Because of him, nearly 1,000 people lost their lives in South America. That man, when he was just a boy, would sit right out here and attend these church services. And he was a pastor, he was a preacher. I mean, he was a cult leader, and he did deceive a lot of people and influence a lot of people to do terrible things, but the base of that was he had a church, so he was learning the scriptures, learning the Bible when he was just a boy in this building. And to think that later on he would use that in his scheme to manipulate these people into following him to their deaths.
Yeah.
People joined by the thousands. They seemed to worship Jones as much as they did God. But what did this man have?
It is crazy to think about that this man used what most people use for good, religion and church and things.
Can you hear him?
Scare the crap out of me.
What did it say?
Can you hear him?
Oh.
Ew. That's kind of interesting. And for those of you wondering why that sounded like that, GhostTube just came out with a brand new feature which has dynamic voice. So there's different voices that it will speak as. And whatever magnetic readings it picks up on, not only will it select the words, but also that will determine which voice it uses, possibly helping us determine who we're speaking to. So some voices will come through in a female voice, some will come through in a more whispery, creepy voice, some will come through in a male voice, or multiple other options. So, but that's weird. That was a creepy voice.
Yeah, and especially too because you were just talking about religion.
Yes.
Which...
Can you hear?
13.
13? That's how many years he attended here.
Yeah. From age 3 to age 16, Jim Jones attended here for 13 years.
Oh, they gave me cold chills. Look at that.
Yeah, that's wild.
That is super creepy.
So there is a kid, multiple kids here specifically, but there's a child presence here in this church. If it's related to Jim Jones or connected to Jim Jones, I'm not sure. I just know that there is a child energy here. Not only a child energy, but an old lady energy, kind of a middle-aged woman energy, and a male energy, like a significant male presence. Not really a dictator, but like the leader.
Haunted.
Haunted?
Yeah.
Wow. Is this church haunted?
The very first time I stepped foot in the church, we were downstairs cleaning, and Dan, the owner, was downstairs in the basement on the other side, and he said, "Hey, did you just say something?" I said, "No." He said, "I just heard a woman say hello." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." And as I'm wiping down the table, this rush of older female energy, and it was a, "What are you doing here? Why are you here? Why are you in our church?"
So apparently the owner and Lydia had a very strange experience in the basement with what they believed to be the spirit of an elderly woman who was a parishioner here.
Jennifer.
Jennifer?
Is that your name? Jennifer? That sounded like an elderly woman, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
That was creepy. Jennifer, is this your room right here? This room is very creepy right here. There's an energy with this room.
Let's walk in.
Hell.
Hell.
It said hell.
What happened in this room right here?
Those two voices sounded similar too.
Mm-hmm. Like it was the same elderly woman.
Did something bad happen in this room here? I don't know. Ever since I walked in this room, this room is very off. I don't know what it is.
There's a lot of curiosity. Like right now, there's kids sitting in the back pew that are, "Hey, what's going on? Are these more people? Are they coming to investigate?" And there's always going to be curiosity here. The spirits want to know why people are here investigating. They want to know what's so special about their church. They obviously find it special, but they want to know why everybody else has such a curiosity when it comes to this church.
If there's any kids here, you can follow us around the church. Is he gonna play the organ?
Can we play some music for you? Remember, you can come through this device in Miranda's hand and talk to us.
Beautiful, Dave.
I'm not a musician.
Wait. Is that a tornado siren?
Yes.
So there's a tornado somewhere.
Apparently.
Are you sure it's not just like a warning?
I don't know. There's nothing on, almost said the menu. There's nothing on the radar. So maybe it's a test, because we are supposed to get some bad storms later.
I was upstairs vacuuming, and another member of our organization was downstairs vacuuming, and he comes rushing upstairs, and I'm mid-stride with the vacuum cleaner. It's on, and he's waving at me, so I turn it off, and he says, "Did you just fall?" I said, "No." He goes, "I heard a loud bang downstairs, like you fell." I said, "I'm clearly standing on 2 feet and the vacuum cleaner's running, so no, I didn't fall." And he's like, "Well, I heard a bang."
So we had actually heard that this is supposedly a baptismal, or they believe this is a baptismal right back here.
Yes, it's like a strange little trough that's filled with sand. And I don't know, is there anybody in the comments section that knows what this could be? If you do know what this is, leave a comment below and let us know, because from what they understand and what we understand, it's filled with sand, and there was a tarp in there for water for baptisms. We're not sure other than that, so
yeah.
Leave us a comment, let us know.
This is a really cool church. There's a lot of history here, and of course it has that element of it being the place where Jim Jones basically grew up, and I'm excited to see what we capture on this investigation tonight. Are you both ready to switch to night vision and see what happens on our investigation of the Jim Jones Church? Child?
Child.
Ooh. He was a child.
Does the spirit of Jim Jones still come back to this property?
They don't want us to get started.
They don't.
Apparently not.
I am more than ready to see what this place has to offer, and let's get started. Let's get it set up.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Do it. Is that good?
Yeah.
Where the lights can be seen from the... All right, so we are getting ready to leave for abandonment. We have 3 cameras set up throughout this church that was the childhood worship space of Jim Jones, the cult leader. And we are going to leave this place empty for about an hour to see what happens when the place is completely empty. So we have 3 cameras, 1 right here in the sanctuary. We have a paranormal tripwire set up here down the aisleway, as well as an EMF music box called the Piccolo right in front of the camera. And a REM pod up here on the altar. So if any of that stuff is messed with, turns on alarms, we'll know that it could possibly be paranormal. Down in the basement, there's a camera down where Dan, the owner, and some of his employees have had experiences with what they believe to be an elderly woman who apparently, possibly, might be named Jennifer, because while talking about her, the name Jennifer came through.
It did, yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. And then the last camera you set up in the attic, Dave?
I did. I set it up in the attic, pointed at where the baptismal allegedly was, and I've got the spirit pod set up there with it.
Cool. So we will see what happens when this place is empty. And just so we know, there is a digital voice recorder rolling. It'll be rolling for the entire time we are gone down in the basement. So we might capture some spirit voices or electronic voice phenomena while we are gone. So let's go ahead and hit the road.
Let's do it.
Only one more thing left. Only one more thing left to do, Dave, right?
Only one more thing. We're leaving.
We're leaving! Let's get out of here.
Jim? James Jones. James, if you're here, walk up to the pulpit there where that red light is and try and touch it.
Tripwires, man. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can review that EVP downstairs. All right. Have the recorder.
Was that you? Yeah. That was you. That? Oh, the whispering? I don't know.
Right.
That? Oh, the whispering? I don't know. Mel was going off.
Mel was going off.
What was that? What was that slamming? I don't know.
Okay, so not any really voices that we could hear. Maybe one possibly there as we were setting up to leave that we'll have to check out, but it's inconclusive. But we do know that at some point while we were gone, because of the voice-activated recorder, that the Mel meter was going off, and also there was some strange banging sounds in here while we were gone. So you guys already saw that. We didn't. This is our first inclination. So kind of cool tool to use on abandonment.
Yeah.
Because we can listen back to it as soon as we are ready, or we can listen back to it as soon as we arrive back from abandonment, have an idea if anything happened.
Oh yeah.
So let's get these cameras handheld, get some equipment ready. You want to start in the basement or you want to start in the sanctuary?
Let's start down here.
You can start in the basement?
Yeah.
Let's grab some cameras and start right back here since stuff was going off. We're coming down.
Is there somebody in there? Jennifer?
Jennifer, if that's you, and that is your name, my name is Ryan, this is Dave and Miranda. We came to see your beautiful church. Can you show us that you're here so we know where to talk to you? Once we know where you are, we can use some tools that we have to be able to hear your voice, and you can send a message.
Can you have a seat at the table here and we can talk? Lydia told us that she had an encounter with somebody down here. Is that person down here? If you are, I've put a chair in the doorway right over there. Could you go have a seat? Whoa. Do you think that's the wind?
I don't know. It sounded very much like on the floor rather than on the roof up there.
Yeah.
It sounded like someone walking just...
Well, we do have that FLIR up there running in the sanctuary, so maybe.
Yeah, we have that thermal imaging camera.
Mm-hmm. Okay, if there's anybody down here, I set up a couple of coffee cups to signify where we'd like you to sit down and have a conversation with us. So if you could walk up and grab your coffee cup, we'll know which chair you're sitting in, and we'll have a conversation with you. Could you do that?
EVP, Jim Jones church basement. Setting down.
Could you come in and sit down where one of the coffee cups are, please? We'll have some coffee and a conversation.
Right on the table right there, I set a red light if you see it. Ooh, I felt like something just touched my arm.
Really?
Yeah, that was creepy. It was like a tap. I was holding the camera like this. I felt like something tapped me right here under the arm.
Ooh.
Can you tell your name to that red light right there?
If there's anybody down here, please let us know by using one of these devices we've set up for you. Can you do that? Can you close one of these doors down here? Any of these devices we have set up, there's an orange one right over there. There's this one. You just get close to them like that. And that'll let us know that you're saying yes. Do you remember Jim Jones? Do you know who he is? Does his spirit still come here to this church?
EVP, Jim Jones church basement. You come in and sit down where one of the coffee cups are, please. I'll have some coffee and a conversation. Right on the table right there, I set up red light if you see it. Ooh, I felt like it just touched my arm. Really? Yeah, that was creepy. It was like a tap. I was holding the camera like this. Ooh, I felt like it just touched my arm. Really? Yeah, that was creepy. It was like a tap. I was holding the camera like this. Right on the table right there, I set up red light if you see it. Ooh, I felt like it just touched my arm. Really? Yeah, that was creepy. It was like a tap. I was holding the camera like this. Ooh, I felt like it just touched my arm. Really? Yeah, that was creepy. It was like...
Do you want to run a spirit box session, Miranda?
Sure. So there's a device in my hand. If you get up really close and talk to it, we should be able to hear you. If there's anyone with us, can you tell us your name?
This is definitely a man.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely a man.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to walk into this room? Not too far into this room over here, Miranda, but I'm feeling drawn to that room.
Yeah, why don't
The
we
creepy
go?
room. To the left. Yeah, right there.
Jennifer, are you in this room over here? If there's anyone down here, can you tell us how many people are downstairs tonight? Do you guys want to try going into the room?
Yeah, just stay on this side of the table because there's a motion sensor in there.
Oh, here, I'll follow you.
Okay.
Because I can't see.
It's right here.
Okay. A lot of people get weird feelings about this room. Did anything happen in here?
Did this place hold a special place in your heart?
Jennifer, are you in the room with us?
We played some music, some hymns upstairs earlier. Were you able to hear those?
Did I say like it?
I couldn't quite make it out, but it may have.
I thought that was a man that said like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're glad you liked our music.
Who's the man's voice that we're hearing?
Can you get a little bit closer so we can hear you more clearly?
Yes.
Did you used to play music here?
I'm going to hold up some fingers here. Can you tell me through the radio how many fingers I'm holding up? Did anything unfortunate that wasn't supposed to happen to somebody here happen in this church?
Did you hear that?
No.
I thought I just heard like a dragging or a hissing sound to my right as you were talking, Dave.
Really?
Yes. Back there by that piano.
No, I didn't hear it.
Neither did I, but that's creepy. I'm starting to get creeped out.
A little bit.
What did that just say?
I don't know, but at the same time I heard a noise upstairs.
Did you? Mm-hmm. This battery's getting ready to die too. I have 16 minutes left on it now all of a sudden.
Yeah, mine's getting close too. Real quick before that ends, I want to set this over here. I know this is going to go off, but...
Okay.
Keep going to the spirit box.
Yeah. Did I hear a hissing sound? Is that what I heard? It said yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Who was that hissed? Can you tell me your name?
Did it say Charles?
That's what I heard.
That's not what I heard, but I'm gonna hold what I thought it said until afterwards because it's not biased.
Okay.
So there's no bias. Can you repeat yourself? What's your name?
Did you hear that?
I heard it, but I didn't hear what it said.
I swear I thought I heard it say Jones.
That's what I thought I heard it say the first time.
Really?
Yes. Swear to God.
Did they say Charles?
That's what I heard.
Did they say Charles?
That's what I heard.
That's not what I heard, but I'm gonna hold what I thought it said until afterwards because it's not biased.
Okay.
Jim, are you here with us tonight? Did it just say here?
I think it said here.
Jim, how do you feel about all those people that you had drink cyanide in their Kool-Aid? Why did you do that to those people?
Did it make you feel important? Make you feel wanted for the first time in your life? It's a pretty cowardly thing to do, in my opinion.
I just heard something back in that corner again.
Back here?
Yes, it was a voice.
Tripwire went off. Touch that green and orange light right there. If you're back there. Jones. I heard it again.
Wow, so did I. Very clearly.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to be going upstairs to the sanctuary room in a minute, and we'd love to be able to have a chance to speak to you if you wanted to come and talk to us. Will you follow us up there? We are getting ready to do an SLS sweep of the sanctuary room and the first floor areas here at the Jim Jones Church.
That is wind that you're hearing?
We got some crazy wind tonight. So, we have this whole room wired with equipment, specifically stuff that the kids may want to play with. If there are any children here, ooh, I don't know if that's false positive or not, but something just mapped and literally like jumped all around.
Really?
Yes. Like jumped over the back of the pew, laid down on the floor, jumped over to the other side of the pew, sat down, and then jumped back over and laid on the floor and then disappeared.
Wow.
If there are any kids here, we were told by Lydia that you like to hang out in the back of the church here and just watch.
Look at those pretty lights up there on the stage. Can you go up there and try and touch them? Try and pick them up?
So I'm going to run on ghost tube here.
You are funny.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
What just happened? Did you trip?
Yes.
That's weird because it literally said you are funny right as soon as you were tripping.
Yeah. Don't I know it?
Someone in this sanctuary was using this box in my hand to speak to us when we were here this afternoon. My name's Ryan. This is Dave and Miranda. What's your name? Can you tell us through this box right here what your name is?
Who are they?
Whoa.
Who is who? We already said my name is Ryan, Dave, and Miranda. Or our names are Ryan, Dave, and Miranda. I don't have 3 names.
I'm waving at you. My name's Dave. Hi.
My name's Miranda, and you sounded very scared. So I just wanted to say there is no reason to be scared. We are not here to hurt you. We are just here to talk.
We saw your beautiful church. We read about it. And we wanted... No. And we wanted to learn about it. We wanted to come and visit you because we heard that people have seen you and heard from you still here at the church, even though they don't hold services here anymore.
Do you still come here for service?
Our friends Josh, Rocky, and Sean came here and they said that you had a lot of things to say to them. They think they even saw you on one of their pictures, one of their videos. Can we come up on the altar? Would you be okay with that? If I came up behind the pulpit? If that's not okay, you can throw something and I'll get down.
Is there anybody out there here for a service? If you are, can you knock like this?
Oh, that was you.
Oh, yeah.
Someone want to play the organ? We'd love to hear that.
Run away.
Oh, wow.
Made my heart stop for a second.
I saw that.
Why should we run away? We're not the type to run. We've never run from anything. Dave with the occasional bug, but...
Are you running away from something?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. Is that one of your names? One of the children?
It's a bit humid. The door's sticky.
Jacqueline, are you in here?
Is there anybody from the church here with us? You can stand there in front of...
Flames.
Flames.
You can stand there in front of Ryan. He's trying to take your picture.
We heard this was one of the first churches that a man named Jim Jones went to. If there's someone here who knows about him or knew him, can you tell me the name of the last church that he went to? Hello?
Jim, has your spirit ever come back here to this church where it all started for you? You were a man who loved an audience, and we've got an audience here, so go stand in front of Ryan and he'll take your picture and we'll show our audience.
And you can tell us about your congregation, or even if you want to tell us about your time here in this church just when you were a young little whipsnip. That's the right term, right?
I've never heard that.
Oh, I meant whippersnapper.
Yes.
Whipsnip.
Whipsnip, ladies and gentlemen. Leave a comment below that says whipsnip.
That's right. If you made it this far in the video, say whipsnip. Say, I'm just a young little whipsnip. I forgot the door was closed and I can't see anything. It's hard to see with this thing.
It is.
Thank God I was pointing the SLS the other way, because I would have gone bam, SLS first into the door.
Fool.
Fool.
I am a fool, aren't I?
Who called Ryan a fool? What's your name? Can we hear?
Royal.
Royal. Am I a royal fool?
He told me.
He told me.
He told you what?
That wind is shaking the building.
I hear it too.
Like, I felt an energy in the basement.
Yes.
And I felt some sort of a vibe in here earlier, but I'm not even getting any sort of inclination, like any sort of feelings. I don't feel watched. I don't feel like there's someone around us.
Me either.
It feels very calm in here. At least at this point. But that doesn't mean we can't change tactics and try and utilize it to our best interest. What if we left some of this equipment set up here, but then we have one person, one of us, go up to the attic and sit for a few minutes with the spirit box on and do an Estes method on separate floors?
Yeah.
Do you think that would pan out?
We can try it.
Split up just a little bit and have that one person alone listening to the spirit box up there to see what will come through. And then the other two can stay down here at the bottom of the stairs and right here at the entrance to the sanctuary and see what happens.
Run away.
It scared me.
Again with the runaway.
Yeah.
Why do you want us to run away so badly?
You want to set that up and try that experiment?
Let's do it. Let's try this Estes session and see if anyone will communicate with us when we're on separate floors in this church.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, I am sweeping.
Okay. All right, so any of the spirits here in the church, if you can hear me, my name is Dave. This is Miranda.
He's behind you.
Who's behind who? We're going to be asking you a series of questions, and you can give your answers to Ryan through the radio. So if you understand that, can you let him know?
No.
Why not? Are you upset that we're here in your church? That's right, or that's white, something like that.
Do you not want to talk to us?
Right.
Why don't you want to talk to us? Can you tell Ryan that?
Him. That's weird because I was about to say there's somebody who's negatively associated with this church. What's his name? You're lucky. Woman's voice. Then a man's voice came through, sounded like it said him again. What's his name? Can you say his name? Standing there. Jim Jones. Sounded like a woman's voice there, but I couldn't quite make it out. Can you see that string of lights on the stairs up there? If you can you try and activate them by touching them? I feel like someone is in the room with me.
Are you up there with Ryan?
There's an orange light on the door up there. If you don't want to talk through the radio, you can try touching that orange light. We know you liked having power and giving a show and a performance. And you can do that again. You can do that now by setting off one of these devices. Can hardly see them. We're right here. He's got something. It was a full sentence. Who are you? That's him. What is it like after we die? Can you tell us that? Is it scary? Why are you still here? They're gone or they're going, something like that. What keeps you here? Do it.
Is there somebody in the basement?
Distract him.
Distract who? Are you the same person that we were talking to in the basement?
I haven't heard a voice come through in a long, long time, so I shut off the spirit box for a second. Okay. I feel like we've run the gambit tonight. It might be a good point to call it a night. It could be a very residual haunting, and what we experienced earlier was it. Yeah. It's a really cool place. It's a beautiful church. I'd love to come back in the future if we ever get the opportunity to see this place and investigate it again. And it definitely is something that is a piece of history that is forgotten and a piece of history that is overlooked. If you're ever in Lynn, Indiana, or the surrounding areas, definitely get a hold of Saving the Old Properties, the STOP organization, and get in here and check this place out. Take a tour, investigate it.
See what you capture for yourselves, and if you have anything that you saw or anything that you heard that we didn't see or hear, put it down in the comments below. We love to read all of those, and we would love to see what you saw on this investigation. Isn't that right, Dave?
That is right. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you hit that thumbs up button, that like button. It throws us into the algorithm and makes it possible for us to keep traveling around and filming at these locations for you. And that's what we want to do. We want to travel everywhere that we can to make as much of a documentation of the proof of the afterlife as possible. So hitting that thumbs up button will help throw us in the algorithm, like I said, and make that possible. So
7,600 thumbs up, can we do it?
7,600 thumbs up, I think we can.
Let's give it a try, but thank you guys. We appreciate you. If you're new here to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications, set them to all so you never miss any of our adventures on this paranormal quest.
That's right. Jim Jones Church, that's a wrap.
Bye.
Bye.